Oh, what's up, everybody? John from Old Reading Farm here, coming to you live from the new chainsaw carving shed. How about that? Woo! In today's video, I'm going to carve the biggest bear that I possibly can out of this log. So this is going to be probably not the tallest bear that I've ever carved, but I haven't carved a big bear in a good while. So this is going to be good. I am going to try to get him into the shed. He is thick though, so I'm not 100% sure that that's actually going to work, but we're going to have to see how it goes. I was trying to cut a flat bottom on him, but my chain was a little dull, and for whatever reason, I just can't sharpen this big chain. And so rather than spend 15 minutes trying to sharpen, I just put a new chain on her. This is my Husqvarna 372 XP with a 24-inch chain. Biggest saw I have. Need him to do some of the blocking on this. Anyway, let's see how we can get this in there and get going. Well, that was stressful, but he's in there. Now, you're probably wondering, like, John, why wouldn't you just carve that directly on the ground? Because this ground is terribly uneven, and it makes it really hard to continually go around. It also makes it very difficult to clean up. So the goal was to get him in the shed, and he's in the shed. And man, this might, again, I don't know that it's going to be my tallest bear, but he is going to be just about as tall as I am, and I'm 6'4", and I'm actually wearing my tall boots, so it's probably 1.5 inches there. So this guy is big, and I've had my eye on this guy for a long time, and always thought that he would make a good bear. So luckily I was able to get him. I mean, you'll see he's missing some bark, and he was a little wet. Also, my shed is fine. If you saw, he slipped a little bit and knocked this post a little bit out of alignment, but it's all good. I have to be careful next time. I was thinking, actually, for this exact reason, I wanted to put like a beefy post or a beefy beam going across right here so that I could then put like a little pulley on it. And so I could put like a log in here and then maybe hook a chain on it and use that as sort of like a cantilever to, not a cantilever, but like, you know, a little engine hoist almost. So I could do this without fear of, you know, busting something. And now that I have him standing up in here, I wish I had flat cut this top too. You can see he's at an angle, so that's not going to be easy. So anyway, if anybody ever wonders why chainsaw carvings are so expensive, this is one of the reasons why. Even just getting this log in here and ready to carve was the situation. But anyway, we're all ready to go. I'm gonna see if I can peel some more of this bark off here, and then we'll get to carving. Step here, but it's a little surfboardy. All right, so we got his face mainly blocked out. Now this is, for me, both the hardest and the most important part, because everybody's gonna look at his face. So you want his face to look good. It's funny, he's got these little knots here that sort of look like eyes already. And then I block everything bigger because it's hard to see, but then, you know, I'll cut a little bit too deep here. But I left myself, you know, some extra material on here so I can easily cut it down on either side. And this is, you know, again, this is a part that I struggle with because it's hard to get the depths right. And just in general, like triangle cutting is something that I struggle with. So you cut, you know, this line here to get the left side of the muzzle, and then you have to cut down this way. So, and then you also have to cut down this way. So you have to make sure that like this, you know, only cut down to here and it matches with this line, but you also have to cut deep in enough here to match this line, but you also want to try to get this as flush as possible so that you don't have this, or like on the other side so that you don't have this, because the more of this that you have, the longer it's going to take to clean up, which is not ideal. But he's looking pretty good. So next step for this guy, he's got to be a sign holding bear. What's the point of carving a bear if he can't hold a sign? So next part is to figure out exactly where the top of his hands are going to go. So like if he's going to hold a sign, the top of the sign's probably going to be right about here, sitting against his belly, and then the top of his hands, which hold the sign, will probably be somewhere like here. But so maybe I'll grab one of my little saws to just, you know, make some marks in the bark there, figure out where he's at, and then we'll go from there. Why it's called sawdust and sapwood, huh? A little dusty. All right, so here's where we're at so far. Got his little ear over here, and on this side, his ear fell off. Love it when that happens, but that's actually okay, because the only good thing is when it comes off like that, it's always a clean break, and it means that it would have come off at some point anyway. I would much rather it come off when the bear is in my possession, because then I can fix it, rather than like we go and deliver this to somebody's house after they paid, you know, $800 for it or whatever, and then it falls off like on delivery or something like that. So this way, you know, it's, oh man. All right, so what I'm gonna have to do, again, because it's a clean break, oh man, this may actually be more difficult. I may have to start new with a fresh ear. Because if it were just like this piece, then I could put a hole in it, put a dowel through it, and glue it back on, and then carve it from there. But now that it's in multiple pieces, because I don't want to put like screws in this quite yet. Screws are the last stop, because then the problem is, as you're carving and shaving it down and sanding it, you'll end up hitting the screw and ruining your blade, so, or chain rather. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this, but I need to mix up some new gas, and I also probably need to have some lunch. It is hot. I also need to get some water, so I'm thirsty. So I'll be back in a minute. Well, unfortunate, but it happens sometimes. I just ruined my chain on this little nail right here. It's probably hard to see, but that is a little piece of metal. So I'm gonna see if I can get that out of there. But I totally borked this whole chain, which is now crazy dull. I don't know if you can even see that or if that makes any sense to you guys, but dull AF. Frick. Frick, 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 frick. Okay, so I was unable to pull out the nail. Man, this bear is giving me some problems here. First, his ear falls off. Next, I ruin a chain on a random nail. So I just sort of made a mark of it with my blue crayon. So I'm gonna sort of see if I can just cut around it, and not really sure what I'm gonna do after that. Hopefully my chain still works. Let's keep going. I want you guys to guess at what just happened. I just hit another nail. Or maybe it's a screw. And that just burned my brand new chain on my 372 XP, which is a $50 chain. So far this bear, I was able to re-sharpen the small chain, but that second one, man, it's no good. It's no good. And so I think I'm gonna have to just stop, because I can't keep doing this, and there's bound to be more screws and nonsense in here. So this was way more trouble than it was worth. But at least once again, you guys can all see how much work and how much time and how much effort and how much nonsense goes into chainsaw carving. Just like anything. So I am frustrated and angry, but I don't know if this is actually even going to make a full video, but I am ticked off. All right. So the only thing that I can think to do with this guy is to roll him down the hill. Maybe that'll make me feel better. So I'm here with the tractor. I've got him up on the forks, very upset with him, very mad with him, although it's most likely not his fault. You know, it's the people who, I don't know if they hung signs from him or I don't know what they did, but either way, so I'm gonna roll him down the hill. Hopefully he rolls. I have a feeling this is gonna be way more anticlimactic than I'm hoping for, but maybe it'll be great. Let's see. All right, figures rolls 6 feet down the hill, but anyway, at least it's not quite as hot as it has been these past few days. And hey, you know what? Everybody's happy and healthy. We're all good. That's gonna do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.